One of the most known characteristics of Taurus is to be stubborn, unmovable, unchangeable, solid and set in their ways. Taurus is the first earth sign in the zodiac. Earth signs are practical, stable, grounded, patient. The other two earth signs are Virgo and Capricorn. Taurus is like the child of this sequence. Taurus is also the first fixed sign. Fixed signs are headstrong, bold, determined. The following three signs are Leo, Scorpio and Aquarius in this modality. Each one of those have a reputation for being set in their ways, set in their element. So with Taurus being the first one, which is like being the most immature with the energy, or the most raw, you get someone who is the most stubborn by default. Taurus is the second sign in the whole zodiac after Aries kicks it all off. Aries is the most energetic sign there is, with the sun in exaltation and with Mars, the planet of your drive, ruling. So Aries is literally like an energetic, excitable kid. Taurus is like a kid that has come in after playing out all day. They've tired themselves out, indoors on the PlayStation waiting for mum to finish cooking their favourite meal. They're a little tired of getting cocos every other day, running headfirst into everything like Aries. Now they're chilling, laid back, taking their time, relaxing. This relaxation for Taurus comes with the ruling and influencing planets. Venus, the planet of love and beauty, rules Taurus, and the moon, a luminary, not even a planet, governing your comfort, feelings, environment, mother, mind and so forth, is exalted in Taurus. It loves Taurus. So this gives you a very chilled, sensual character surrounded by comforts and love, but in the form of materials being an earth sign. This can lead to stubbornness in not wanting to share or come back out to play, so to speak, for anyone. They're the cool kid on the block with the cool toys and trainers, etc., who on the dark side is selfish. On a boiling hot summer's day, all the kids are hot and bothered and Taurus is in their garden paddling pool, nice and cool from the water, splashing their toys. Now that's in the ideal world obviously, not every Taurus will have it like that, but they can end up having it like that, as Taurus will have an inclination to get money, and lots of it. Now with all of this self-indulging and not playing out, just being indoors with their materials, what this can lead to is Taurus being very perceptive of others, while others view Taurus as lazy and selfish. Lazy is not really the right word for Taurus. If Taurus isn't charging at something, then they're indulging in what they've previously chased. They enjoy their things basically. That's when they may laze around, but they're far from lazy. They're more goal-getters, but they have to be bothered enough to go get. Just to stay in the kid analogy, Taurus can be that kid at their bedroom window on a hot day watching the other kids sit around sweating as they've got their feet up and a fan blowing in their face. So Taurus gets to notice things like this. They get to notice differences, be aware of privileges. With the moon exalted in the sign, it gives Taurus a heightened perception. It unlocks the mind. So this is someone who is advanced from early. This is where the stubbornness comes from as well, because it's an understanding of their own wants and needs and placing importance on them. And that right there is what makes Taurus one of the darkest signs, but more on that later. So from being perceptive indoors at their window watching with their materials, when Taurus does come out to play, they in a way know how things works. So they have that don't bullshit me look on their face. That resting unbothered face. They'll know if people are being friendly because they want to use their paddling pool. They'll know if people are sharing sweets with them because they want to be able to go back into the Taurus's house with them and play the latest Xbox game. Things like that, which you can apply to anything in life. So Taurus can't be bullshitted, or it's hard to bullshit them. That's where they come across stubborn. Taurus don't do the fake thing. On the light side, they'll move for their people, which on the dark side still can be from a selfish place, but in general, they aren't budging until they're going after what they want or need. Venus is your desires. This is what rules Taurus. This is what makes them move. Their desires, not love for people. The earth sign after Taurus, Virgo, is the servant. Taurus is the kid being served by the moon. So Taurus can fall out with many people from their unwillingness to budge. But even the thought of losing people is not enough to make them move. Even if people are warning Taurus to move for their own sake, Taurus can be dangerous to their own self this way by not listening to others. But nonetheless, they are symbolized by the bull that sits watching and sleeping, patiently waiting to make its next move, like a Mexican chilling with their massive sombrero hat, just chilling, not troubling anybody. Taurus is really a cow. It's a feminine sign that can turn into a bull when mad and or going after a target. They'll normally have a cash cow, associated with Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, and Selene, the goddess of the moon. But when Taurus is awake, they can embody the dark side of Venus and the moon, and this is where things get crazy. Apathetic, philosophical. As I was saying, the moon exaltation enables Taurus to have an advanced way of thinking. Feelings do well in Taurus. Earth signs are more logical than feelings anyway, but this makes Taurus quite comfortable with feelings, not afraid of feelings, can feel things out. Taurus is a central sign, and on the light side, they have the love from Venus there. So Taurus can have more of a balance going on than their opposite sign Scorpio, who struggles immensely with their emotions. Taurus can get so comfy, they become apathetic, unaffected by feelings, theirs and others, just not bothered, where they can be very creative without the feelings involved in like art and music. But with their mind unlocked, this also grants the tools of a potential philosopher at a young age spiritually. The philosophers of the Zodiac are the last 4 signs, the elder signs in Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces, with Sagittarius kickstarting this. Taurus can be like a young student studying in college, knowledge well above their age mates, Taurus. Just to drop some names for you without diving in, but Robert Oppenheimer, William Shakespeare, Niccolo Machiavelli, Mark Zuckerberg, Walter Russell. Even if you don't know their work, you would have heard their names. Cancers have a very similar thing going on, being ruled by the moon. But with Taurus, well, it's an even younger sign than Cancer, so it's more raw, where the moon can be having too much fun, which could also lead to less care involved. Apathy, but with the bull charging towards it. It's different to the oldest earth sign Capricorn, where they can be selfish, cause there's a disconnect with feelings being opposite Cancer with the moon. Taurus is connected and still cannot give a fuck. This is where Taurus, Cancer and Pisces can relate on the dark side. On the dark side, you can have Tauruses with strong ideologies coming from a philosophical place that involves the dark side of Venus and the moon not giving a fuck about feelings. We're talking Adolf Hitler and Saddam Hussein here. And the worst thing of all with Taurus is, not only do they have great minds, Taurus rules the throat on the zodiac body. So when Taurus speaks, others listen. Commanding, spiteful. Taurus rules the throat on the zodiac body, the vocal cords. This can bring about singers with the most beautiful voices in Taurus. You can feel Taurus's voice in your soul, not hear, feel. Taurus is like Sindel in Mortal Kombat. Scorpio, the opposite sign, is more about soul research, examining, but Taurus can directly speak to the soul and not even be interested in the spiritual side of things. With Venus ruling, which rules art, and the moon, which will be involved in anything creative too, anything artistic can come easy to Taurus. But if they can sing, this is like a cheat code to life. But whether the voice sounds good or bad, the philosophy of a Taurus can be idolized and then commanded in a way that others listen and follow. They can be massive dream sellers, like Cancerians too, the moon signs. But Taurus will do it to many. Cancers will do it to those close. The Pied Piper is more Sagittarius Capricorn territory. But Taurus is like that in its raw form. Taurus has a herd mentality, especially as they grow after watching people. Venus's association makes them want to relate to people, so especially through music, they easily can. Like, do you know how many hood versions there is to Adele's Hometown song? So if the Taurus has got some fucked up views or dark thoughts, it is absolutely easy as hell to make others listen and act out. Again, Taurus speaks to the soul, so you can listen with your ears and might not even deep it, but those words can get lodged in your soul where you become a follower without even realizing it. Plus, this frequency Taurus speaks on is so infused with charm. Libra is the most charming because it's a masculine, exertive, communicative sign, and that Taurus is feminine and introspective. When they do start stretching those vocal cords, all that Venusian charm is like wrapped around everything they say, no matter what and how they are saying it. So pair this with a spitefulness that can arise from clocking people's bullshit, people's manipulation, or just noticing differences amongst people. Taurus can start treating people like they're toys indoors and start having some sadistic fun. Venus is Aphrodite and Lucifer on the dark side. Lucifer, aka Satan, was said to be a choir leader or director and have a beautiful voice. And you know when the devil talks you into doing something, that entity makes it sound good as hell to do. This is in line with the dark side of Taurus. Capricorn, the oldest earth sign, is solely ruled by Saturn, aka Satan, the master of evil on the dark side. Taurus with its rulerships can touch Capricorn levels when it comes to mass control. Cause Capricorn with its knowledge can take the peaceful approach. Capricorn can take the Martin Luther King Jr. approach on the light side. Taurus can take the Malcolm X approach because it's more raw and less refined, but can achieve the same results. They taught us Martin Luther King in school. I went home and listened to Malcolm X, because essentially, one was talking about turning the other cheek, and the other was talking about hitting back, turning cheeks. This is a young student in a college university in Taurus, remember? So after saying all this, knowing Taurus is home to many dictators should not surprise anybody. The obvious two most notable are Adolf Hitler and Saddam Hussein. Adolf Hitler, a German political dictator whose invasion of Poland on September 1st, 1939 marked the start of the Second World War and was central to the perpetration of the Holocaust, the genocide of 6 million Jews and other victims. Saddam Hussein, an Iraqi politician and revolutionary who was responsible for numerous acts of repression, mass killings and other injustices, responsible for the murder or disappearance of 250,000 to 290,000 Iraqis. With everything said so far, it's not hard to understand how tyrants like these can arise out of the sign Taurus. On the lesser scale, these can be your gang leaders. Gangs are all about control and materials. Your typical gang member is like a dark-sided Taurian. Materialistic, goal-getting money makers, violent, boastful, may even do music using their voice. Taurus is this package. Taurus females can do very well in this world too, unfortunately, the underworld. And Taurus can be associated with the Greek god Gaia, who is Mother Earth. Anything Mother Earth related is related to Taurus. So following on from how Aries can have that selfish me-first attitude, Taurus can have a "this is my earth and everything is my toys" attitude. I do as I please on my earth. This is those signs or people on the darker sides where the elders have to get involved to put a stop to them. Because once that ball gets up from resting and starts charging, the damage it can cause is comparable to an earthquake. Taurus is capable of some tremendous evil, which can look beautiful to a dark-sided Taurus. Like listening to Kehlani on some nights like this, whilst watching people getting trampled and knocked into the air by bulls and elephants in slow motion under a moonlight. It's a strong force that can be charging across Earth at full force, knocking anything out of its way whilst commanding others to follow behind, taking care of the ones it misses. On the light side, We got David Attenborough with his soothing voice, a UK national treasure. Lord knows there'll be riots when he passes. On the dark side, we got Pol Pot, the Cambodian politician, revolutionary dictator who perpetrated the Cambodian genocide, in which an estimated 1 to 2 million people died, approximately 1/4 of the country's population. Is there not a pattern here? How many other signs do you hear committing genocide like this? They say Taurus is the bull, but on the dark side, it's really a mass elephant stampede that can trample Earth in spite. Materialistic, possessive, jealous. As mentioned, Taurus are naturally materialistic, surrounded by luxury which makes them feel comfortable, so a Taurus's comfort is in materials. Libra, the other Venus-ruled sign, is more in luxury experiences, which involves materials, but people to talk with too. Taurus is direct materials. People isn't necessary, especially if they have a partner. Now Taurus rules the second house of possessions, from money to clothes. But on the dark side of this involves people. A Taurus could view people the same way they view their possessions. I don't like to attribute mental disorders or personality disorders to signs, but if I was to call any sign a sociopath, it will be a dark-sided Taurus. On the higher end of the scales, it's Hitler trying to eliminate a race, seeing the Germans as the superior race, to a Taurus viewing their friend the same way they view their trainers. Disposable. YNW Melly and his song Murder on My Mind is the perfect example of this. That kid watching the other kids play from their window could invite some kids in to play with them, but the same way they can throw a toy away or get bored of it is the same way they can do with actual people. It's like superficial possession. Cancer, the other moon sign, has a similar trait of trapping others in their shell for the Cancer's own comfort. If you're around a dark-sided Taurus, just know you're one of their toys. On the good side, you may be their favourite toy, where they dress you up, buy you nice things, let you come along on fancy family trips with them. Or you're that toy who's old and just left under the bed collecting dust, where you may stick around because you get to indirectly experience the Taurus's life. Maybe you get to talk to the other toys when Taurus isn't around. Taurus can Woody and Buzz Lightyear you. Toy Story can be your experience with the dark-sided Taurus. This is a person who will get up for materials and nothing else, maybe food. If they get up for you, it's cause you're their favourite toy. But it's not about you. Toys don't play with the owner plays with the toys. The handler dictates what the toys do. Scorpio, the sign ruled by Mars, being opposite Taurus, means this is where you can see the laziness in Taurus, but again, once they desire something, Mars does not even matter, cause Venus alone is strong enough to manifest desires. The moon alone can manifest any need, and both of these are strong in Taurus. But their desire could also be you. A Taurus can get up to chase you, make you their partner so you can lay in the bed with them as they throw the previous toy in the toy box with the rest. There's strong jealousy and possession in Taurus, and this goes back to Taurus relating to Mother Earth. So if you have something a Taurus wants, as they sit and watch you, they can be jealous, but with the subconscious awareness that they can take it from you. It's similar to Scorpio, but worse, cause again, feelings aren't nothing. That green-eyed monster can be a Taurian in reality. Green is Taurus's colour. As much as Scorpio plays the unfazed role, that sign is literally drowning in their own feelings. Taurus is swimming in luxury. So if they want to take what's yours, they can and will. I watched one film a few years ago called 3096 Days, based on a true story where a 10-year-old Aquarian girl, Natasha Kampusch, was kidnapped and kept in a makeshift basement by a Taurus called Wolfgang Preklapil for 3096 days before she escaped. It's kind of similar to Aries Joseph Fritzl's story, where he trapped and impregnated his daughter in his makeshift basement. And as fucked as that was with his own daughter. He was selfish with his own daughter. Wolfgang did this to another person's child. It's that entitlement. If a Cancer's to do this sort of possession, it's gonna come from their own feelings. If a Scorpio does this type of possessiveness, it's gonna come from a need to control. Taurus now. Taurus can do this, treating that person as a toy. You see how every sign symbol in the zodiac is a breathing creature, apart from Libra, the other Venusian sign? I've already explained Libra's dark side, but Taurus can view others like a Libra, as an object, mixed in with jealousy, possessiveness, and a fucked up mindset towards others. But when you remember, Venus is Aphrodite, who was a jealous, cheating goddess of war on her dark side. And the moon is dark without the sunlight, and you are on Gaia's earth, and Venus is Lucifer. Should any of this surprise you, where is the devil supposed to be? Under us, right? In the pits. If there is a god of this earth, where would it be living? In the earth. There's rituals on this earth where at certain points, blood needs to be spilled to feed what's in the earth. So when you get these mass murdering tyrants in the sign Taurus, cause Taurus on the dark side aren't your typical serial killers running around playing peekaboo, but if they are, it will involve kids like Albert Fish. Otherwise, they are causing enough blood that soaks the earth. So I mean, well, it's theories tied in, but I've never believed God rules this earth. And when you see what the fixed earth sign is capable of, even maybe without the subconscious awareness, but with the initiative to feed the earth. I mean, did you see the way Travis Scott was looking down at the massacre happening at his concert whilst he was like humming in his auto-tune? Hey, I'm just saying. Do you know what the elites be doing to some youngins in their rituals? Do you know what you can buy on the dark that involves people? That's the dark side of Taurus. You can buy people as if they are toys. You can buy parts as if you're fixing a car or at a butcher's. The dark side of Taurus is not to be played with because people can just be another food source to what they're feeding. Materialistic and viewing people as toys produces your Gary Glitters. Materials, ideologies and food is what gets the ball moving. And when the dark side of Venus wants to relate with others through Taurus, it can get demonic real quick. Gluttonous, dependent, vulnerable. Taurus, that child in the window that has everything they love at home. If they aren't out charging at something to possess it, they're at home indulging in it. So with Taurus, you can easily get a gluttonous person. You get an overindulger because the tools to indulge like that is there. You may get some physically big Tauruses and you may not. But it's the bull, right? It's laying and eating. It's big cause of this. It's like the Aries ram who is fully charged up, refueling before shooting off. Homer Simpson and his donut eating, beer drinking, lazy, sleeping on the job at the power plant and lazing on the couch at home self is a Taurus. Homer's catchphrase is dough cause he loves dough nuts. And money is called dough. He's a Taurian through and through. Now, being a Venus-ruled sign means Taurus will always seek a partner. It's not in a needing a partner way, like an immature Libra, or a falling in love with everybody way, like an immature Pisces. It's more, I've got everything and no one to share it with. I need someone to share this sensual experience with, so we can feed each other grapes and watch movies in bed all day. On the light side for Taurus, but the dark side for others towards Taurus is, well, basically, others can get with Taurus just for what they got. On the light side, Taurus are beautiful, beautiful beings. There's an unmatched serenity with Taurus. Queen Elizabeth's face on all that money type of beauty. It's Selene, the goddess of the moon, and Aphrodite, the goddess of love, radiating their light through Taurus. It's the mother of all life in Gaia. That's three powerful associations with this feminine advanced before their years sign in Taurus. That Florence Nightingale, founder of modern day nursing beauty, that young starlet in Shirley Temple. From their beautiful voice to their beautiful looks to their beautiful energy to their beautiful essence. All of that can be used by others. I mean, look at what humans are doing to this earth daily. And the thing with Venus is, love makes the signs it's associated with delusional. It applies the rose tints. It's only through Neptune how Pisces can take these glasses off. Taurus and Libra don't have it that easy. So going back to Taurus being perceptive, with that don't bullshit me look when coming out to play, if love gets involved, that perception means shit under those rose tints. They won't just be kissing frogs, they'll be marrying them too. Taurus energy is naturally peaceful. Tyrants can be born, but it's naturally peaceful. That's why Pisces loves Taurus on Earth, finds comfort in Taurus. One of the most Pisces to Taurus things I've recently seen is a Pisces musician named Jordan Adetunji done a song called Kehlani about the Kehlani Taurian singer, to where Kehlani ended up featuring herself on a song about herself. Pisces appreciates these qualities in Taurus on the light side, but with the peaceful side of Taurus, advantages can get taken by every sign, to the point of the sign of possessions itself, Taurus, may not even have self-worth. And with Taurus we get loyalty, strong devotion, like a younger version of Leo in this regard, stubborn with their love towards someone where it's fixed. But this isn't like Libra where they can balance the scales and become self-righteous. Taurus can stay like that. They can become dependent where they make themselves a toy for another to play with. Yeah, once someone has taken advantage and left, Taurus can get up and see red, but sometimes the damage is already done. So that's another dark side to Venus, because Venus brings delusions. And the moon can also make them needy as hell. So can make this student, who's supposed to be advanced for their age, be believing they're nothing without their person, where the most sensible sign loses all their senses. Argumentative, bad-tempered. As we all or should know, is Taurus has the worst temper in the zodiac. Even from an out of astrology perspective, you know peaceful people are sometimes the most dangerous because they don't bark, they bite. But Taurus explodes when angry. They turn from a bull to an elephant. They double in size. Again, this is a sign opposite Scorpio ruled by Mars, which is more your drive than anger. It's like your fuel, it's not the only thing responsible for your anger. The two other things that ties in is your sun and your moon. Cause the moon's gonna feel it and the sun's gonna act out on this feeling whilst feeling it in its own way. So anger of course is a feeling. The moon governs feelings and the moon is its happiest in Taurus. So when the moon gets mad, for whatever reason, then the sun plays this out. It's the worst anger you can get in the sign Taurus. Plus the moon puffs the body up. The moon signs are strongly built, Taurus and Cancer. They both make perfect physical bullies on the dark side. In Cancer, the sign the moon rules, it's like too much emotions. So through being overwhelmed, Cancers can lash out in the moment, very violently. Taurus is this mixed with the peaceful side. So it's like being disturbed from a peaceful sleep in Taurus where the moon absolutely fumes and Venus gets into warmonger mode. All that Taurus is gonna see is red, where these Chris Browns go from cruising to bruising. We all remember what he did to Pisces Riri, even if it was in response. That wasn't cool, breezy. Another reason the Mars signs is seen as like the baddest tempered is cause Mars is about aggression, like warrior spirit. Which is true, but when Taurus sees red, they don't see Mars or Aries. They see Venus, which is the hottest planet in the solar system, which has the most volcanoes of all. It's piping hot. So that air you see, the bull puffs out its nose as it kicks its feet ready to charge. That's what you're dealing with. It's like Typhon in Greek mythology. It's Cain coming from fire and brimstone. Taurus and Sagittarius have similar tempers but in different ways, but it's equally as expansive. It's earthquake and volcanic in Taurus and Armageddon in Sagittarius. Taurus. That quiet before the storm, that's Taurus and Pisces, cause it's a build-up. Ruling the throat, Taurus who are triggered can argue very well. Not Libra well, but loud enough to make a point that you hear and feel in your soul. But Taurus don't get puffed out from arguing. That arguing can be them kicking their feet. It's like a steam train in Taurus. The stamina is there, it's just the slow start. But once they see red, horns are going up people's backsides and through hearts, as they're trying to run away after realizing they done fucked up. Taurus is like really emotional, but has stability with it. That's where Scorpio gets dangerous. When they stabilize their emotions. Taurus can be cool, unemotional, just reacting to you waking them up from their slumber. If it's not good food waking them up, that nice aroma from grandma's pie cooling on the windowsill. If it's bullshit that they smell. If it's where the rock smells what you're cooking than you smelling what the rock's cooking, then that's gonna be a big bull in a small kitchen scenario. Everything get mashed up. Love can paralyze the bull, but any other form of bullshit will be seen as targets that bulls hit. Self-centered self-awareness. I think a good way to describe Taurus and their dark side is too powerful, too young, spiritually. All the fixed signs have this sense of entitlement, but with the influences Taurus has, which can generate so much power, mistakes can easily be made. Where Taurus can go from self-centered to extremely self-aware to a point they can't even face that reality. With being perceptive, the ability to lead the masses is why Capricorn is the eldest earth sign, cause it masters all this with the absence of feelings. As apathetic as Taurus can be, they are full of feelings, and that's what catches up to the dark ones in the end, their feelings and a realization of their selfish ways. The lack of empathy for another soul, the viewing another as inhuman. A toy. Even with Wolfgang who kidnapped Natasha. You know what he did when she escaped? He bullseyed himself. What did Adolf Hitler do in the end when the older lot had to come and stop him in Sagittariuses like Joseph Stalin and Winston Churchill? He bullseyed himself. They don't want to face the consequences from a self-realization. When your ideology is righteous, you stand on that until the end. You face the consequences and admit defeat. You surrender. This is why Venus is happy in Pisces at the end, cause it's the sign of surrendering. Not weakness, but being one with your beliefs until the end, surrendering to a force greater than Earth, the source. So Taurus is a sign that can go out sad, whether through bullseyeing themselves or getting bullseyed by people in real control of this earth. The government, the elites, the elders. Malcolm X, bullseyed by a Pisces. Saddam Hussein, given the death penalty by a Scorpio. A Scorpios who actually tried to assassinate Hitler, but failed. In Klaus von Stauffenberg. If you see that Gemini, the intellectual air sign, is after Taurus who starts actually seeing how others think, that alone kind of corrects Taurus's mistakes. Gemini's like the smart kid in the playground, and Virgo's like the teacher's pet who's the smartest in the classroom, the earth sign after Taurus. So Taurus can basically be too smart too early. And as much of a dictator Taurus can be, force doesn't always work. It needs to blend. And that's why the war generals come in the older earth signs, and surrounding signs starting with the mastermind in Virgo. Did you know Hitler's photographer was a Virgo? Heinrich Hoffmann, showing Hitler how to pose to convey his messages. And Joseph Goebbels, a Scorpio, taught Hitler how to choreograph his speeches. And Hermann Göring was the primary architect and leader of the Nazi police. And Reinhard Heydrich, a Pisces, was the evil genius behind the Holocaust. All with Heinrich Himmler, a Libra, by Hitler's side as second in command the whole time until the end, where Himmler tried to betray him. This is why Taurus can have a herd mentality, cause others can do the work for them, follow their commands. like adults catering to a commanding child. Then the real mastermind of the mastermind is Capricorn, the final earth sign who ties it all together. The most responsible sign who can also do the job by themselves. It needs to relate to the actual people's desires than yours, forced onto people. And that comes in the older Venus associated signs in Libra and Pisces. They excel at the social aspect of this where Taurus doesn't in the long run. Taurus doesn't have this insight or connection with empathy. So this wake up call Taurus can get after bullshitting around knocks the shit out of the ball, where they end up going back to their room alone sitting in cow dung. Even if we go back to Typhon, the Greek monster, remember Taurus arguably has the worst temper in the Zodiac. Typhon was a giant monster with 100 dragon heads and was the son of Gaia, Mother Earth, and Tartarus, the underworld, who terrorized everyone until Zeus came and dealt with him. The Pisces fishes came about from Aphrodite and Eros turning into fishes to run from this monster. So I mean, it's all stories and myth, but connections can be made and patterns can be seen. Just look at the name, Tartarus and Taurus. Tartarus was the Greek primordial god that ruled over the abyss, the deepest and darkest pit in the underworld. Who rules the underworld? Hades, which is equivalent to Pluto, Scorpio's ruler, opposite the sign Taurus. The dark side of Taurus is capable of true darkness this world is still yet to see. With great power comes great responsibility, and Taurus can have so much power, then end up running from something they're responsible for than being responsible. If you put yourself in the center, you must be willing to surrender. But the planet's ruling puts Taurus in the center with everything they need, but greed can wake up something they feel to feed. You may think, who's this Pisces talking about my sign? Hey, it's just some things I've noticed. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Otherwise, shut your ass up, put your seatbelts back on, and make sure that aisle was clear. We'll be arriving at our destination shortly.